Hello, so today I am going to be showing you how to install Star Wars Battlefront 2 mods quickly, easily, and for free. If you already don't know what Star Wars Battlefront 2 mods are, they're basically just modifiers for the game that can add new characters, new abilities, new skins, anything really. Anyways, let's not waste any time and get right into the video. First thing you're going to want to do is go to a browser like Microsoft Edge or Google Chrome. I chose Microsoft Edge since I find it a bit more convenient. What you're going to do is you are going to navigate to this website, the FROSTY Tool Suite, GitHub beta pages. I will have this linked in the comments and in the description so you can super easily get to it. Okay, so once you're on this website, what you're going to do, make sure that you're at the top of the page. Make sure that it says FROSTY Tool Suite Beta 5. It might not say Beta 5 for you if you're watching this in the future. At the time I'm filming this is just August of 2022, and the latest version is Beta 5. If you are watching this when there's a later version being released, just use the latest version, since if you don't, it might not work properly. Okay, once again, make sure you're downloading the newest version, and then scroll down a bit and press this Assets button. You're just going to press that little arrow there. Now, they're all these files, but the only one that we really need is frostymodmanager.zip. So you're just going to click that. The other files are just source code and they're irrelevant. Now this is going to show up. What you're going to do is you're going to press the show in folder button. So on different platforms it's different, but on Google Chrome you press an arrow, press show in folder. On Microsoft Edge you just press this little folder button. That should open up your downloads folder. So now what you need to do is you need to right click the folder that's highlighted. You need to press extract all right at the top. Okay, then this page should show up. You can extract it to wherever you want, but you can just leave it as normal. I'll just leave it as normal. And then once you're done with that, just press extract. This might take a minute to extract, depending on how good your PC is. Once it's done, it'll open up this folder. So what you're going to do in this folder is you're going to press this Frosty Mod Manager button. It might say frostymodmanager.exe or it might not. All you need to know is that it has the icon with an M and it's called Frosty Mod Manager. What you're going to do is you're going to right click it, you're going to press run as admin. Now this is going to show up. Windows protected your PC. Just press more info and then press run anyway. This isn't a virus or anything. If that doesn't show up, it's okay. But now your game might get auto detected or it might not. If you just see a screen that looks like this, totally blank, press the Scan for Games button on the bottom left corner. Give it a minute and it should find all of your games. Me, I only have Battlefront 2, so it only found Battlefront 2. If you're still seeing this screen, what you're going to do is press the New on the bottom right. Then you're going to locate your Battlefront 2 directory. Basically, your Battlefront 2 directory for most people is C, Program Files 86, Origin Games, Star Wars Battlefront 2. When you get into a folder that looks like this, make sure that you press the Star Wars Battlefront II button and not the Star Wars Battlefront II trial, since if you press the trial, none of this will work. So just press Star Wars Battlefront II and then press open. Now, for sure, you should see this. Okay, just click it, and then on the bottom right corner, there should be something that says select. Just press that. Now, this is going to open up. This might take a few minutes, or it might be really quick, depending on how quick your PC is. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to fast forward a bit. So now this page should show up. This window. This is what the Frosty Mod Manager looks like. For now, you're just going to minimize it. Next, you're going to go to this website, nexusmods.com. Once again, it's in the description and in the comments, so you can easily get to it. Okay, So on the top right, there's going to be this login button where my cursor is, but I can't really show the login button since I'm already logged into my account. But what you're going to basically do is just press login, then there should be like a sign me up button or register. You have to register and sign in for this to work. Sadly, you do have to use an email address for this, but I guess you could use temporary emails, but I would not recommend it since whenever you want to install mods, you're going to need this site. Okay, so once you're done doing all of that, come back here and follow along now. So once you're done logging in, on the top right, you should see this little icon to confirm that you've been logged in. Just make sure you see that and then follow these next steps. So now what you do is you press Games at the top left, click that, and then press the View All button at the bottom of the game section. Now, in a second, that should show up, and you're going to scroll down a bit, and when you see Filter by Name, you're just going to search up Star Wars. Then one of the games here should show up, being Star Wars Battlefront 2. It might not be the first game, but for me, it just showed up as the first game. You're just going to click Star Wars Battlefront 2, and the icon is that icon. Just going to click it, and now all of these mods for the game will show up. So you can download any of these mods, but I just want to let you know that some of these mods might not work properly. If you download a mod and it isn't going into this Frosty mod manager, or your game is crashing, whatever, it just isn't working, just try another mod. So some mods are outdated, but most of them will work. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the popular of all time section. I'm going to look through some mods. I've already downloaded this Battle Damage Vader mod, but I really like it to showcase, so I'm just going to click it. What I'm going to do is you need to look through this description. There might be long descriptions, but you need to look through it and make sure that you see this one thing. Make sure that it says multiplayer safe or multiplayer compatible, MP safe, MP compatible. Because if it says it's not multiplayer safe, then you cannot use it in any multiplayer match or co-op. The only time you can really use it is in single player games or in instant action. Just want to put that out there. If you do use it in multiplayer, there's a possibility of you getting banned. But we're just going to look through this description. Looks like a pretty cool mod. We're going to see, where does it say MP safe? Or if it says it's not MP safe. So down here it says, use online at your own risk. It is a cosmetic mod, so it should not cause any issues, but you never know. So basically what that's saying, it is multiplayer safe. Always with mods there is a tiny risk, but you really shouldn't get banned. I've used this mod before, I did not get banned. So there's like a 99% guarantee, 99.99999% guarantee that you won't get banned if you're using a multiplayer safe mod. Okay? So now you're going to scroll back up, press Files. There might be multiple files here. There are only 2 here. You can select which one you want. I want the Battle Damage Vader. I don't really care about the sparks and smoke. So I'm just going to find the file, read this description, just upgraded for latest patch, and press Manual Download. Now give it a second. This page should show up. You might have to scroll down a bit. And then you're going to press Slow Download. Since if you press the Fast Download, you need some premium version for that. And we said for free. If your download doesn't start, press this little button right here. If it's saying if you're having any trouble, click here to download manually. But it's downloading fine for me. So I'm just going to cut, because files might take a while to download, or they might not, depending on how big the file is. Like this file, it says it's 138 MBs, 138.9, so it might take a while to download. quickly. Just gonna wait for it to download. It's already basically halfway there. Okay, the file is finally finished installing. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the show in folder thing again. Google Chrome, you press an arrow and then press show in folder on the bottom left. Microsoft Edge, you just press this little folder button on the top right. I'm not sure about Firefox how you get to it, but whatever way you get to your downloads folder, just do that. So now what you're gonna do is, remember that thing we minimized, the mod manager? What we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the folder and the mod manager kind of side by side like this. Then we're gonna hold down this file and we're just gonna drag it into the left side of the mod manager. Well, it actually doesn't really matter which side you drag it into. Okay, so now this error might show up or it might not. So this mod, the mod that I'm using specifically, is designed for an older version. So I'm just gonna press OK. I think this mod will still work. If you don't get that error, that's okay. You have still done everything right. It's just this specific mod is made for an older version of the game. But I think this still should work. So what we're gonna do is just Battle Damage Evader with Cracked Helmet. I can choose which file I want. And what you want to do is when you click on the file, make sure you read this description. Here is a very tiny description, but for some other mods it might be a bit huger description. So you make sure to read that. So I'm just going to press the cracked and I'm going to press this apply mods button on the top. And so just want to make sure. So you're going to press this launch button now. And after a few minutes of this thing running, this little command, it's going to say new installation detected. I can't show you that since I've already played the game with mods. But it should say new installation detected, and you just have to press OK, and this new command prompt's going to show up, and it's just going to go scrolling through a lot of commands. Okay, yeah, so once again, just press the launch button, new installation detected will show up, command prompt, you'll go through one, and in a few minutes, it should launch your game. I'm just going to quickly press the launch button and launch my game, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so the game loaded up after I pressed the launch button, and so now as you can see my mod is here. This Battle Damage Vader looks pretty cool, and I can go into matches and play with him. Sorry if my game's a bit laggy. I'm not using my high specs right now because I'm recording, but this is basically what the mod looks like, you know, and it is a multiplayer safe mod, so I could go and do anything. But there are a few issues that you might encounter when loading up the game. So we're just going to go through this whole kind of segment. If you did get your mods installed and it's working fine, you don't need to watch this part. This is just common issues. Issue number 1. If you load up your game and you don't see your mod, like, let's say I install Emperor Palpatine mod, but I go to him and it's not there, try this troubleshooting. Now first, just confirm if you're using Battlefront 2 on the platforms of Steam, Epic Games, EA, Xbox, and even sometimes Origin, all of the platforms, sometimes this won't work. But to fix that, what you have to do is just go back to the home page, quit. Okay, so once you're done quitting out of the game, you're going to head to this website. It's the FROSTYFIX GitHub. So, yeah, it's actually this website. This is the FROSTYFIX GitHub. I'll have this in the descriptions and in the comments. So you're going to scroll down and you're going to go to releases. You're just going to click on the latest one. Now, for me, the latest one is 5.1 as of August of 2022, but for you, it might be a newer version. So just make sure you download the newest version and not any of the old versions. So now if assets isn't already showing up, just press this little arrow that says Assets, and then this should show up. Press the FROSTYFIX.exe button, and then FROSTYFIX should download. Now this is going to show up. It's just saying that FROSTYFIX is not commonly downloaded, but it is safe, so just press the three dots and press Keep. Then it might show this again, just press Show More and Keep anyway. On Google Chrome there's a different way of doing this, so just keep the file and make sure you can open it. Open up the file, give it a second, this might show up, just press More Info and run anyway. Now give it another minute, and look, my antivirus is saying it's safe. So under Select Game, select Star Wars Battlefront 2, and then under Select Packs, select Default, then all of these parts here show up. Just choose whatever platform you're using. If your platform isn't showing up, like if you're using Steam or Xbox, I suggest you just press Global. You should just press Global all the time, and then press Enable Mods Globally. If you have the app that you launch your game open, the app would close out, and you have to reopen it. Now, if you don't want mods anymore, you have to press the Disable Mods button. So just to load into my game, I'm just going to open up Origin and Epic Games. Since I got this game for the 1 week that it was free on Epic Games, I use both of the platforms. So if mods weren't working for me, I could just select Global, or I could just select Origin. I just once again recommend selecting Global. So now just wait for the app to load, and then just open your game. It might take a few minutes for the game to open up and load up, so I'm just going to cut and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so my game has loaded up into the collection menu, and looking at my character, now it has 100% for sure come up, the mod is working. So now that you've used FROSTYFIX and everything, the mod should like 100% be working. But there's one other error you might encounter. So the other error is basically your game just not loading up. So what it is maybe you press the launch and your game just totally crashes. That basically means that's the mod's fault. That basically just means that the mod is not working. So remember, you might want to try a new mod. You might want to try the mod I'm using. If you're already using that mod, maybe try a newer mod, a different mod. Just, test around. If the second mod you're trying doesn't work, try another one. You can also run into some errors with Frosty, but they're not as common, so I won't be talking about them here. So, if you have any questions or any more errors, and you want me to make a video about it and how to fix it, I'll go in depth in that. Just leave it in the comments, leave your error, leave if you want me to make a new video about this, if you know how to fix it. Just if you're having any trouble with anything, just leave a comment. You can leave a comment for anything. I'd love to know how you thought of this video. So please, once again, like and subscribe. These videos take a long time to make. Even though this video is like 15 minutes, it's taken me 5 days to make this. So thank you. See you soon.